Morning, guys. Good morning. Welcome to the Serie A roundup. Oh my, well, what a weekend of results, with the last game having been played with Milan away to Torino, which I'll be chatting to you guys about it in just a moment. What a game that was, too. But it seems like, where there was like 4 or 5 teams that were sort of contending for the top spot. There's like a mini breakaway now between the top 3 teams of Milan, Inter and Napoli in between. So Inter, having beaten a very good Como side who just didn't turn up on the day, but Como got beaten 4-0 by Inter Milan. It's just a really one-sided match. Como was nowhere near at the races. Lautaro Martinez with the goals to really thrash Como 4-0, which meant that they went temporarily top of the league on 30 points. But of course, the big match the following day was between Napoli and Juventus. Juventus really, currently out of the European spots, really needed a win. First of all, when doesn't somebody ever need a win? But more than the win itself, needed to see a sign of a performance, a sign of the team starting to take shape under the new manager. Napoli, of course, needed to also have a win themselves to keep up pace with Inter, and obviously with Milan playing on the Monday, they needed to be in there. So I had predicted a draw. What I hadn't foreseen is the surprise Juventus lineup with no number 9s in show, with Yildiz and Contessa, which were both hooked off unexplainably towards the end of the match, having been probably the only 2 positive players for Juventus, and and McKennie just behind those 2. Just didn't quite get going, in all fairness, Juventus, at any point. It's just lethargic, lack of energy and ideas, personally. Midfield's not quite functioning for my liking. And at defence, they keep insisting on playing with Coop Miners when they could just simply go to a back 4, in my opinion. Napoli started off strong. Of the 2 sides, they started a lot stronger. And Neres, who's in incredible form at the moment, helping with the goals. A Highland scoring, of course, back on the sheet as well. And Napoli win that game 2-1. Bad result for Juventus. They really needed something from that game, but unfortunately for them, it resulted to another defeat. Moving on to the Milan game, Torino. Milan's approach last night to the game was poor, really poor. Within 10 minutes, they were 2-0 down. 10-15 minutes, 2-0 down to Torino. Really poor goals conceded. They just seem to be, for the first time, for a long time, I didn't see the line between the lines very compact, very disunited. Leao went off injured shortly after with looks like a groin injury, and Kunku struggling to find some sort of form, which you're just thinking to yourself, where are these goals going to come from? Even more so now that Milan have gone 2-0 down. But they managed, straight after that second goal, a long-range shot from Rabiot, top corner, meant that Milan was still remained alive, even though they still hadn't got quite going. And after that, slowly leading up to the half-time, Milan started getting a little momentum, started more control of the game in the second half. I mean, it was a completely different game. Milan took control of the game, and shortly after, with Pulisic having just come on his first touch, equalises to make it to Pulisic, who hadn't started the game because he was out. He had flu, so it was called in, drafted in last minute by the manager and the player, with the player's consent to be involved. And on his first touch, made it 2-2. Shortly after, made it 3-2. So Milan managed to turn that game around after being 2-0 down, winning 3-2, and they go top of the league on 31 points. Napoli remain also on 31 points. Inter on 30. Roma, who slipped up away to Cagliari 1-0. They're now in fourth spot with 27 points. Only last week, Roma were top of the league. And now this week, they are fourth with 27 points. Bologna on 25 points with their win on the weekend as well. Como, as we just spoken about, are on 6th spot on 24 points. And Juventus on 7th with 23 points. I mean, the gap now between Juve and the fourth are now, 4 points. So Juve really need to start getting a few results under their belts if they want to stay attached to those European spots. Otherwise, it becomes an almighty task if the teams above carry on and like I said, create a gap between them and the European spots. But the tie ahead, the games ahead, really the top of the league, Milan, Napoli and Inter running away. Like I said, there's forming a little trio between them, with, for me, Inter still remain the strongest team squad-wise. Napoli and Inter, for me, will be the ones ultimately fighting. And Milan, if they want to keep up the pace, which is what they're doing at the moment, they will need to bring players in the squad in January. Otherwise, in the second half of the league, if they remain the same, with their short squad, they're really short in numbers, and they need to add the forward. They need to add a forward or two if they want to keep up pace, because certainly goals will be hard to come by with the current players that they have available. If they do that, they will keep up pace with Napoli and Inter. If not, it will be Inter and Napoli and Milan. I'll see them as they currently are, finishing third, no higher. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, guys. Serie A is hotting up. Are you guys enjoying it? Let me know your thoughts. Comments below. Like, comment and subscribe. Forza Milan.